You can have the best products, the best pricing, the biggest advertising campaign, and still lose the market. Why is this possible? Because your product isn't where the customer wants to buy it. That is the reality of Nigerian retail. The real battle isn't always won in the boardroom. It is won in the last mile. And after more than 20 years of working across commercial, telecom environment, FMCG environment, I've learned something. Distribution doesn't fail because the strategy is always wrong. It fails because the strategy doesn't survive the contact with the ground. At the headquarters, we talk about market share, route to market, brand positioning, growth targets, beautiful presentations. But the Nigerian market does not live on a PowerPoint slide. It lives on the street in Lagos, a container shop in Kano, a neighborhood shop in Abuja. That's where it lives. A kiosk where a retailer is deciding right now which product to stock. And that's where the strategy gets tested. Can the retailer get your product? Can they afford to stock it? Will your sales representative show up? Will the product be available when the consumer asks for it? And when something goes wrong, who fixes it? That is the last mile. And if you don't build the last mile deliberately, your strategy can look brilliant at headquarters and still fail at the point of purchase. There are three realities that make the last mile execution particularly demanding in Nigeria. Number one is coverage. Coverage is hard. Geography matters. Infrastructure matters. Fuel cost matters. Security matters. A route that looks simple on a spreadsheet can become completely different operation-wise on the ground. And in the distribution, an outlet you cannot reach is an outlet you cannot serve. Secondly, the market is fragmented. You are not dealing with 5 national retail chains. You are dealing with thousands upon thousands of independent outlets, wholesalers, sub-distributors, and neighborhood retailers. Different locations, different economics, different buying behaviors, different levels of potentials. So you can't manage the entire market the same way. Number 3 is trust. Trust matters. The retailer often knows the person who visits that outlet every week. They know who delivers on time, who gives them accurate information, who resolve problems, who treats them fairly. So distribution isn't just a supply chain problem. It's a relationship system operating at scale. So what actually wins the last mile? After 2 decades of working around commercial execution, I've reduced it to 3 things, which is coverage, capability, and visibility. Number 1 is coverage. Know your territory. Map your routes. Classify your outlets. Define your call cycles. Know which outlets deserve daily attention, which need weekly coverage, and which can be served differently. Don't say we will get there eventually. Build a system where the right outlet is visited at the right frequency by the right person. Number 2 is capability. The last mile is ultimately executed by people. Your sales representatives, your distributors, your merchandisers, your agents, your supervisors. They need the skills, incentives, tools, and decision-making authority to solve problems where the sale actually happens. Because a field representative who can identify a stock gap and fix it today can create more value than another strategy meeting tomorrow. Number 3, visibility. This is where data become powerful, not vanity numbers from head office. Ground truth. What is actually selling? Where is stock available? Where are you losing distribution? Which outlets are growing? Which ones are declining? Where is demand stronger than availability? Because you can't fix what you cannot see. And in my experience, when I've worked on underperforming territories, the turnaround often begins with one thing: getting brutally clear about what is really happening on the ground. Here is the part that many businesses underestimate. Last mile execution is the multiplier on every other investment you make. You can invest in product development, branding, pricing, advertising, trade promotions, digital campaigns. But if the consumer walks into the store and your product isn't there, the investment doesn't convert. That is why I look at distribution differently. Distribution isn't simply about moving products. It's about converting the commercial strategy into physical availability and physical availability into revenue. That is the bridge. So if you are reviewing distribution strategies today, don't start by asking, how do we sell more? Ask 3 better questions. Do we have the right coverage? Do we have the right capability on ground? And do we have enough visibility to know where we are winning and where we are leaking revenue? Because those 3 questions can expose problems that another boardroom strategy session won't. Nigeria's retail market is difficult. It is fragmented. It is demanding. But that's exactly where the opportunity is. The companies that win aren't necessarily with the biggest budgets. They are the ones that build the strongest systems. Route by route, retailer by retailer, region by region. That's the work I've spent more than 2 decades doing. And if you are building, fixing, or scaling distribution in Nigeria or across West Africa, let's talk.